It was look, the last couple games, and specifically Wednesday, there's a lot of possession that doesn't really go anywhere. It doesn't end. It doesn't end with chances. And tonight was the opposite of that. Today was much more purposeful, much more intent. When we played between the lines, when we faced forward, guys were making runs forward. We were putting pressure on their back line with the speed at which we were moving. Just much more purposeful with our possession, other than keeping possession. The other night when we played between the lines, and we'd come back on the other side of the line that we just broke. And tonight, obviously having wingers and guys coming from the outside plays a role a little bit for tonight. Getting Julian really going forward hard on the right side played a role tonight. So the intent and the ask for the group today was to turn the possession into attacks by, when we got between lines, be more direct, be more vertical about our running, and that also led to transitions being more dangerous, things like that. So our game just had much more purpose in it when we talk about the attack.
And the challenge now is replicating that for next week?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's keeping that mentality. I think we've shown the capacity to have possession of the ball. Now it's finishing attacks, and it's getting production off the end of that possession. And tonight we were able to. Again, I thought our transition game came back. I think for a few games we weren't as direct in the transition when we had the opportunities. We would play forward and then we would come back. And tonight I felt like our intention, again, in the transition was to attack the opposition, and we were able to, again, build some numbers, build some speed, create some opportunities, some goals, things like that. So I felt like just more parts of our game came together tonight, which we got to keep building on.
All goals count the same, and it's always nice to score 3 in 10 minutes, but to score 3 brilliant goals, does that mean more? And did you have a favorite?
I have to go back and watch him. Like, I felt like Raw got lost in the play somewhere, and the next thing you know, he picks out the upper corner. Obviously, Javi's little pirouette back heel was a good one. Just also a good speed on a whole transition in the play. And Gaston, both goals. So he keeps telling me he's a goal scorer. So it was nice to see him step up and take some opportunities. So right now, I don't care how they hit the back of the net. I like for just the emotion of the group to feel that moment, and you can see the joy that they had, and to take our possessions, like I said, and turn them into chances and to score goals. You don't always live on world-class goals, but it's nice to get some when you do. But I thought the goal, like Javier's goal, a couple of goals were just good team actions where we really built some speed and created some problems. So there was a couple more goals out there for us. I know Dayan and Efra are both a little upset that they didn't put something in the back of the net. But again, I thought just a good team performance all around.
And one of the best passes from Grand Sierra on the first goal.
Yeah. He showed a different side of himself on that one. A little outside of the foot curler into Gaston, I think it was, right? Which was a hell of a run from a sitting defensive midfield position to recognize that. They're a challenging team to play against because they mark you up in the midfield, and so it's not always easy for our midfielders to find freedom and find space. So Gaston making a hard run through the back line is something certainly that they're not accounting for as they're attacking midfielders trying to defend him. So him making that run certainly unbalances anything that they're trying to do, which was smart on his part for sure. So again, they can be a challenging team, and we were able to find our moments inside the game for sure.
Big negative was the red card, especially given where we are in the season and the importance of the games to come.
Yeah, to say the least, disappointing. Lost his head. I also thought he was having a good game and continuing to build some of that trust with his teammates and with the group, and the things that I think he's been growing within the team on that and earning that from everybody, and then to have that moment, just as I know he's disappointed. I spoke to him, but it's tough for him. It's tough, but most importantly, it's getting tough for the team in this moment. But the team has to keep pushing forward. We are where we are, and unfortunately, we'll see what this looks like for him on the other side.
Greg, I feel like we do this maybe after every game, but with Riqui playing maybe a little more advanced role tonight in that 4-3-3, What'd you see out of him? He had 3 assists on the night, which I think is the first time since 2014 that's happened for an LA Galaxy player.
Yeah. It's just something we talked about. I mean, even in previous games, I wanted him to be higher, but I think he was dropping back to try to pick up balls from center backs, to start attacks, to do things like that. And by taking the attacking midfielder out and putting him more on the widths, I think it maybe opens up a little bit more space for him to stay a little bit higher, to remain a little bit more patient. Again, it was also a game where they're man marked, so sometimes it doesn't make any sense to bring another player back into the starting of an action. So you just keep them out and stay a little higher and allow the ball circulation and the movement of the players help you to get unmarked. And he was patient in that, and I think we were able to find him in positions where he can make a difference. But as I've said, he's so slippery and so quick when he picks up the ball on the move. And he can find new spaces and new gaps and new windows to make attacks that are a little bit different than what our other midfielders do, which are kind of catch and pass sort of players. He can pick up and move and slip into a new space, which he did I think on one of the actions, which was impressive. So he adds a new dimension. I like that he was being more patient, staying a little bit higher, and really working to help impact the final action and not so much the initial action. So we'll keep pushing him to do that, because I do think that's why we brought him here, and I think that's ultimately where his goal is going to be for him.
And with results around the league, you guys are now in 7th place above the line, which means if you guys can win out here, for sure, you guys are in the playoffs. You can hold your spot. What does that sort of mean to have everything back in your hands now with just, 3 games left?
I think it's great. I mean, it's a great feeling emotionally. I think, with our group, we have a pretty emotional group that we probably ride our results more than we should. I think our group is good enough that that internally they should trust themselves and each other a little more, and the results shouldn't make such a difference on our group in terms of our understanding of where we are and sometimes our belief in ourselves. So because we have a ton of quality in there. So anytime we have good results, we take that step forward. It's an emotional boost for this group in particular. And so I think that's a good sign. Now we've got to recover and lace them up and go play. I think this is our game in hand that's coming up, which we've got to try to make something out of it for sure. So we're in a position. Certainly, it's a much better position than we were at the beginning of the night. So we'll take it, but we still have a lot of work to do in front of us and make sure that we're focused on that. Again, it's just for us. It's just one game at a time and one play at a time. And tonight, I thought we did a nice job of handling all of that. So.
That was fun to watch this evening, and congratulations on the win. Do you think that first half was your most complete performance as a team so far this season?
Yeah, it could be. I think we've had a few halves that could go into that category as in one way or another. But I liked. I liked all the round performance. We did a nice job on the defensive side. We dealt with transitions. They're a team with a lot of team speed, especially at the top, and can be direct. We managed those situations. Obviously, some of the actions in attack, and like I said before, they're a tough team to play against because they mark you, and especially in the midfield, which is where we want to try to control and win the game. And when guys are marked up, it's not so easy. And so I think the way the group was able to, we talked through where we felt the solutions would be, and I think when the group found those solutions, we were very purposeful. And again, I thought speed came back into our game tonight, which is when I think we're most exciting. I thought Douglas really played with intention and purpose, and I thought Sam's work was excellent. And then our midfield, I think we always have the capacity to try to control the midfield. So again, I thought Julian was as purposeful as I've seen him in months. To be honest, he just you could see he felt the freedom. We tried to give him really the green light to just go, and that we were going to have him covered. And I felt like his moments that he chose to really take off and get into the attack were excellent, and obviously delivers a couple nice balls in there as well. So again, I thought just. Yes, to your question, it certainly is one of them. I just felt the intention of the group was in the right place. And when we do that, we are a really good team. And I think you see the pieces that we have added also add a lot to our team. Gaston has added a lot to our team, and Riqui. And so as they now kind of get through the weeds of initially their introduction to the league and get through the initial weeds of it, I think you can see the qualities that those guys have and what they bring to this group. And so it's a fun group. I hope we got to keep pushing and keep building off of this and trust ourselves, and we'll be in a good spot.
Yeah, as I said before, I think a ball got played out. I don't know exactly from who. I think it was actually Martin. Martin gave me a ball. It was a little bit in front of me, so I knew I had to take a positive touch. Once I did, I knew that I seen the right back. I just try to, kind of juke him in a way so I could create a little bit more space for myself. My intentions were to pass the ball, but as soon as I seen him move a little bit, I knew I could keep going. So I just kept going, got in the box, cut it back. Seeing I had so much time on my right foot, I'm like, there's no way they think I'm going to shoot on my right foot. So I cut it, I chopped it. Luckily he dove and just swung my left foot at it, closed my eyes, and went in the top corner.
Now we've seen runs like that from you before this season, where you can take it all the way to the penalty box, and then usually stuff collapses in at the very end. So does that mean a little bit more for this goal that it finally finishes? And I mean,
yeah, obviously, as you said before, I get in those positions a lot. Yeah, I just think this time it was just a little bit of clarity, and I had in my mind that I wanted to be dangerous rather than just me crossing the ball or me getting a shot off. So yeah, I think it's just more clarity that caused that goal for sure.
When you think about the whole thing, the run, the jukes, the cutting back and forth and all that, have you scored a nicer goal in your life?
I scored similar goals, to be fair. Back in my TFC 2 days, back when I was playing in USL, I scored goals like that, but not quite in that degree. So I think that'll take the number one spot for sure.
We saw a Galaxy team that obviously you guys want to be every game tonight. What was the difference? What was the impetus, do you feel, to this performance after some of the ones
Yeah,
you've seen?
as you said before, obviously the Vancouver game, obviously losing and having all that possession, but I thought it was possession with no intentions to do anything with the possession. So this game, we knew obviously we're gonna have the ball. Usually when we're at home, we have the ball, but it was more of an intention to score. More details of getting in the box, trying to finish off attacks, doing the little things that puts us in a more advantageous spot and to score. So I think today that the possession was possession for intent to score, rather than just being lossless possession. If that makes sense.
How do you guys go about duplicating that for Saturday? Is it an easy? Hey, we got this win, we can build off this, but going into San Jose is a tough spot there.
Yeah, exactly. But what else we have to do? We obviously have to build off this. As you said, there's 3 more games, 3 more finals. It feels like the whole Western Conference, the bottom half of the Western Conference, is fighting for playoffs. So these games are super duper important. As I said before, we're a team that always has possession, but I feel like sometimes you have possession just to have possession, not to create attacks or balance people up with having the ball. So I think the little switch was let's have the ball, but have the ball trying to do something with it, trying to go towards goal and whatnot. And obviously going away to San Jose it's not an easy game. Obviously when they're there, and especially it's going to be in Stanford, I believe. So it's going to feel a little different than what it usually is. But again, it's going to be an important game. You just got to build on what we did today.
And you came off there, was it just precautionary? Or
yeah, precautionary. I felt a little thing in my ankle, but we just checked it out right now. We're all clear, so it's just a little precautionary.
Gaston, congratulations on the goal, on 2 goals, excuse me. Just how comfortable have you been feeling with the midfield and the players around you, and do you feel like you scoring goals is something that's going to continue to happen?
¿Entendiste? No. Felicidades por los 2 goles. ¿Qué tan a gusto te has sentido en el medio campo con los jugadores que tienes a tu alrededor y el fruto de quizás tus 2 goles esta noche?
Bueno, muchas gracias por las felicitaciones. Obviamente cuando llegué acá a Los Ángeles sabía que al principio me podía costar un poco el estado físico, venía sin una preparación, pero bueno, hoy realmente me encuentro muy bien, estoy casi al 100% y la verdad que jugar con Riqui, Marqui, Víctor, la gente en el medio te la hacen muy fácil y la verdad que bueno, muy contento por los 2 goles y por dar el triunfo también al equipo, que era importante en este día.
Thank you. Obviously, when I got here, I knew that in the beginning the physical aspect was going to be tough, but I feel great today. And playing alongside Riqui, Mark, Victor, and our midfield makes it so easy for me, and I'm happy for the 2 goals and the win tonight, which was an important one for us.
Hola Gaston, We know so much of the way Greg wants to play is to have the off-ball runs that set up the pass. We know what happens when those runs don't happen and the offense is stagnant. So on a night like tonight, when there's a lot of off-ball movement, is that contagious? And do you think it starts getting everyone going and moving and setting up for 4 goals? Sorry.
Sabemos un poco de la forma que le gusta jugar Greg, de quizás esos pases filtrados y cómo afectan al equipo. Y hoy vimos quizás un poco más el movimiento fuera del balón. What was your last part?
Just like, how is it contagious? When one guy starts making the runs, does everyone start making the runs and you get the movement and the offense, the build-up he wants?
Es contagioso cuando un jugador empieza a hacer esas carreras, entonces los demás siguen haciendo ese movimiento fuera del balón. ¿Qué tan contagioso es con el equipo hoy?
No, obviamente que era un partido que se jugaba mucho 1 contra 1 en el medio y bueno, había que romper líneas y bueno, en el primer gol sobre todo encontré el hueco y fui y bueno, da la casualidad que hago el gol y se abre el marcador. Es importante el movimiento en el medio campo, es lo que funciona al equipo y creo que hoy estuvimos muy bien, muy claros y prácticamente no tuvimos chance de perder este partido.
Obviously, it was a game that was a lot of one-on-one in the midfield, and we needed to break those lines. And I think in the first goal, I found that space, and I took it, and I scored. I think that movement in the midfield has been important and is important, and we're great today. And I don't think we had a chance to lose tonight. Scott?
Talking about off-the-ball movement, your run for that first goal looked like it caught Colorado completely by surprise. And then you get that ball from Grandsir. You just talk a little bit about your thinking as you make that run and that ball.
Háblanos un poco sobre tu pensamiento en ese primer gol, hablando sobre esos movimientos fuera del balón y cómo en esa carrera te encontró Grandsir y tuviste la oportunidad de anotar.
Realmente mi posición, sobre todo el año pasado, era de jugar más ofensivo. Este año Greg me ha pedido de quedarme, ser el número 6 del equipo, pero siempre tengo el gol entre ceja y ceja, digamos. Y realmente Sam me metió una pelota muy buena y me dejó adelante el portero. Estuve bien en definir a sangre fría, digamos, y abrir el marcador.
Really, my position, especially last year, was to be a little bit more offensive, and I think this year Greg has asked me to be more of the number 6. But I've always had the goal in mind, and Sam gave me a really good ball, and I was able to score that.
You've been here long enough to get a real sense of this team. In what ways have you seen the team grow in the time you've been here?
¿En qué maneras has visto cómo ha crecido el equipo en el tiempo que llevas acá?
Bueno, creo que estamos más sólidos en cuanto a nivel de unión de equipo. Hoy se dio una señal muy importante después de una derrota muy dura contra Vancouver. Dio una señal muy importante que el equipo está vivo y creo que bueno, dependemos de nosotros y son 3 finales que nos quedan y vamos a dar lo mejor.
I think we are more solid. We're more of a unit. And I think today we had a great and good signal after a really bad loss in Vancouver. The team is alive, and I think it's on us. It's dependent on us. We have 3 finals to play and give it our best. La última, con Daniel.
Gaston, felicidades por los 2 goles. ¿Significa algo especial o extra para ti el hecho de que, además de anotar, sigas manteniendo o apoyaste para esta victoria para mantener las posibilidades de playoff?
Bueno, muchas gracias y bueno, sin duda poder aportar gol, asistencia en este equipo, vine para eso, me encuentro muy bien, muy feliz y marcar en el estadio de tu equipo y ver toda la gente feliz y ganar el partido es lo que te genera felicidad y por suerte hoy se dio y no vamos a parar.
I think the question is, what does it mean to have scored and to maintain those playoff chances alive? His answer, being able to score or give assists, that's what I came for, and I'm so happy and excited to have scored in front of our fans in our stadium, and we're not stopping from here. All right, guys, thank you so much for your time.
Thank
Gracias,
you.
Gaston.
Bye-bye.